Guys, coming around for Pretty Little Liars, Season 6, Episode 15, Do Not Disturb, and once again, another great episode. I've really been loving this season so far, I have to say. I've really been loving what they've been doing with this time jump, and this episode, once again, we got some really interesting reveals in this episode, some really good character development in this episode. This really, I think, was also not just a great episode in terms of reveals, but a great character episode. Like, we really got, I think, some really great conversations between characters. Some of the characters they had interact I really liked, and also just seeing some of the characters' lives, like what their life is like now. We really got to do more of that in this episode, and I really like that. I've really been loving where they're going with this show, but let's get in this episode because, like, as I said, I loved it, and Pretty Little Liars, I have to say, this is one of those shows where every week, there are some shows I'm watching that I do really enjoy, but this is one of those shows where it impresses me more and more every single week, and it's just because Season 6, I mean, that's an indicator that you should end your show, and I think it's because them knowing that this is their last 2 seasons, they're giving it all they got, and I love that, but let's get into this episode because I really did love it, and we kick off the Montgomery house, and Aria's dad, Byron, tells her that he's been keeping a secret from her. He has been seeing someone, and of course, Aria thinks that he's talking about what's going on with him and Ezra, because like I said, those two are definitely working together. We just don't know in what form they're working together. And Arya basically thinks that he's saying that he's having that he is with another woman, but Ella is in the room that whole time, and then Byron announces that he and Ella have been spending time together again and are getting back together, and they're now engaged. So that's very interesting that we found this out. It kind of came out of nowhere, but I like that we found this out because, it really seems like it's coming out of nowhere, and I really did like seeing that. They've been keeping a secret from her and Mike until they knew it was real, and basically, Arya's relieved, but still obviously suspicious of Byron, and it's clear that Ella, I don't really think, knows what Byron is doing. So, it doesn't really change anything for Arya, it's just kind of a relief to know that they're still together, but in many ways, it's bad for Ella because Ella doesn't know all the crazy shit that's going on with Byron, and that definitely is something that's going to bite her in the ass at some point. So at the condo, Hanna wakes up, and Jordan is rushing around saying that they are late, and he wants to leave for the city. And Hanna gets a text from what they're now calling the new A, but I'm going to continue calling it the stalker because I don't really feel this is like A, because this A is much different than the A we've had for the past 5 seasons. First of all, this A is a lot more intense and a lot more advanced, but it's also more of a stalker. This A hasn't killed anyone. That's why I'm not going to call it A, because A killed people, A went after them, and this person clearly just wants information. And the way that they're using emojis is very interesting, and Hanna makes up a lie too, and basically tells Jordan. Of course, she can't tell Jordan what's going on with, the stalker and everything. She's not gonna tell him about that. So she tells Jordan that she can't leave the house because she's using the landline phone to confirm all the details for her boss, Claudia. In Claudia's trunk show, basically Claudia's trunk show, who is her boss, who we do get to meet in this episode, and Jordan is obviously annoyed. He thinks that it's ridiculous, and he tells Hanna that he will see her later that night. And Emily walks in on Hanna and Jordan kissing goodbye. Jordan rushes out of the house, and I love that that keeps happening. That the liars keep coming in like the worst of times. Anytime that Hanna and Jordan try to get close, I mean, he just rushes out, and I think it's really funny, and I really did like that. But I like seeing, though, that Hanna is keeping this secret from Jordan. This is definitely a problem. This is something that she needs to discuss with Jordan, especially because he's her fiance. This is probably something that Jordan should know. I don't know why Hanna hasn't told Jordan. I just find that very surprising. I mean, it seemed like he did know what was going on, but we can tell here that he does not know what's going on. It's clear that, she's probably going to keep making more excuses, and this is going to end up really badly. So, I mean, really, she really does not need to keep this secret from him, and she needs to tell him what's going on, because if Jordan knows, I'm sure he'll try to help her. I think Hannah's most concerned about his safety because she knows that Jordan will do literally anything for her. We know this. He's helped her with the lawyer. He's helped her with literally everything. He's always taken her side, and I think that's really why she doesn't want to tell him, because he'll do anything for her, and she doesn't want him to get him, she knows how dangerous this could be, and she doesn't want him to get involved. So I understand that. She has good intentions, it's just, she needs to tell him the truth. She can't keep the secret from him because it's going to end up worse if she doesn't tell him, and I hope that she does. So at Spencer, she and Caleb are lying in bed and drinking coffee. And again, I really do love these two. I'm sorry, I do. I don't care about the people that are like, I don't like Spoby. I don't like Spoby. I like Spoby. I don't like Spaleb. I don't give a shit. I really don't. To me, it's not about the ships. It's about these actors. Do they have chemistry? I personally feel that Caleb and Spencer, the actors and actress, Troy and Belisario, and then whoever plays Caleb, I can't think of his name right now. These two, I honestly think have better chemistry than Spencer and Toby did. I really do. And it's because their characters have changed. It's because they're trying to do something different. I really love that they're doing that. So Caleb tells Spencer that he thinks they should go to the cops and tell them about the new A, but Spencer doesn't think that it's a good idea yet and that they shouldn't get them involved because she doesn't really know what's going to happen. I mean, she knows that this is going to make the situation worse. And basically, she says that a new stalker could be anywhere and anybody that they know. It could be a cop for all they know. I mean, this stalker is clearly a lot more different than the other A. And we know, obviously, it's a guy. They don't know this yet. But Caleb is skeptical that the new A is Sara Harvey, though he thinks that is someone else. And Caleb mentions talking to Toby about it, but Spencer says that is definitely not an option. It's clear that she really doesn't want to talk to Toby right now, and it makes sense. He was making things very awkward. Like I said, she, I think, really does want to patch things over with Toby and really just get on that path and tell him, look, I understand that there was a time we were together, but we just can't be now. I really think that she just wants to bury the hatchet and not have any blood between them. It's clear that Toby doesn't feel that way. He feels that they should have stuff between them and that he's not over her, and it annoys her, and I like that Spencer doesn't really want to be involved with Toby because it's clear she doesn't feel that way about Toby. She feels she wants to be with Caleb, and I like seeing that. It's a very good thing for her to do, and I think it really goes well with her character. It shows, again, that she's growing up, and that's something I really do like. Like I said, I want to see these characters evolve. I don't want to see them regress to previous bad habits that they've had, and I like seeing that they definitely are growing up. And I also really love Spencer's excuse for why it could be Sara Harvey because it is true. The emojis, yes, Sara, because of her hands, wouldn't want to type as much, so the emojis would make sense because that's something that I don't really think A ever really did. I mean, I'm sure that Charlotte did use emojis sometimes, but not nearly as much as this one is. I mean, this one uses it as conversation, and it does kind of make sense why Sara could be the one doing it. Honestly, guys, at this point, though, I kind of feel like the person texting them is not the one doing all the dirty work. Like, Sarah's doing it for someone. Like, definitely, she's not, A. She's not A. She's not the stalker that's, texting them. That's not who she is. She's doing this for someone, and we know that she was basically, Charlotte's wing girl, but not wingman, but wing girl. She basically was Charlotte's partner in crime. She helped her with everything and things like that. She was one of her confidants, and I feel like that's very much the same what's going on with this, that she is helping out someone, part of something much bigger, and I don't really know what it is, but we'll have to see. So Spencer's phone goes off. She has a lunch meeting with Gil. Totally forgets about it. She didn't remember about it. And basically, Emily's getting ready to go to the clinic to have her eggs harvested. She lies and tells her mom that she's slumber partying with Hanna. I loved the scene where Hanna was calling everybody by their first names, and Emily's like, "Are we really calling everyone's parents by their first names?" I thought that was really funny. I definitely really enjoyed that scene, but she's lying to her mom. She doesn't want her mom to know what's going on, obviously. She doesn't want to tell her, and she needs to tell her. She needs to. I mean, she's not telling her, and she needs to. So Emily's hyped up on her hormone shot. She freaks out when Allie texts her and says that she is back in Rosewood. And remember that long absence I've said we've been having with Allie? That's not the case in this episode. Allie is back here. We see a lot more of her in this episode. I'm glad we did because I love the character of Allie, and I want to see more of her. So meanwhile, Hanna gets a phone call from her boss, Claudia. She wants her to switch out all the models for Asian models at the last minute. Why? I don't know. She just does. And it's clear that this is a very demanding boss. I mean, this is someone that Hanna constantly has to put up with. This is someone that has very specific demands, and it's not really something that, I think Hannah's good at her job, but it's clear with a boss like this, obviously she is very intense and, probably is not going to react well to what Hanna's doing. So at the Montgomerys, Ella corners Aria, wants to know if she's upset that her and Byron are getting back together, and Aria says that it's fine. She just has a lot going on that since Charlotte was killed, and ever since then, she has been suspecting Byron. And of course, she doesn't know um she doesn't tell her about Byron, but I do like this information. We find out that Byron was with Ella the night that Charlotte was killed, and then that means that her dad isn't the killer. Not necessarily. I mean, he could have snuck out. He could have. He could have woken up in the middle of the night and Ella didn't know. He could have been really secret about it. He could have been participating in it with Ezra, because we know that him and Ezra at some way are working together. I feel that this was kind of like Byron was the one giving Ezra information. Like, he was the one giving him all the information, telling him what to do, how to kill Charlotte, how to do this without anyone knowing, how to get away with this, and things like that. And Ezra used that and Spencer's term paper on how to get away with murder and basically tried to do whatever he could to kill Charlotte. And I feel like that's really what's going on there. Now, that's my theory, if Byron and Ezra are in fact the killers, which I don't know if they are. I'm just saying that if these two are the killers, that's really how I think it all played out. I'm going to say that. So Hanna corners her mom. Ashley demands to know why she took the security footage back up to cover for her. And I'm surprised that Hanna knew, but I think she just suspected because Ashley would do something like that. And Ashley plays coy, says that it's just a coincidence that their tape is missing and that she doesn't actually have it. But Hanna asks Ashley where it is. She knows that Ashley has it, and so that way they can get rid of it. And Ashley says the drive is gone and she should just be thankful that she cleaned up her mistake. And Hannah's not happy about this. She doesn't want her mom covering for her. She's not in high school anymore. She is an adult. She can do this on her own, and she doesn't want Ashley helping her. And I like seeing that. Ashley does not need to help her with this. And I know that Ashley clearly cares about her daughter and wants to help her, but this is not really something that I feel she needed her. I really feel that Hanna could have done this on her own. I mean, look at how much Hanna has changed from high school to college. She's a lot more intelligent, she's a lot more resourceful, and I think, and the biggest one of all, a lot more reliable. Like, she really will help you out with things. She knows what's going on, and I like that. So, I like that Hanna knew that Ashley did in fact take this drive. So Hanna receives a text from the stalker telling her to hand over the drive ASAP. Hanna tells Aria and has her come over to the house, and after Ashley goes to work, they destroy the whole house searching for the drive. And not only did the stalker say to hand over the drive, if she doesn't, she's going to try to sabotage her relationship with her and Jordan, which is kind of already happening. I mean, I don't see these two breaking up anytime soon, but like I said, Jordan is definitely starting to get a bit suspicious. You can tell. I think definitely Jordan is starting to think, what's going on here? Why is she lying to me? Why is she making all these excuses? It's clear that that's not really what's going on. He's gonna find out. He has to. I can't see Jordan not finding out. It needs to happen. If he loves her that much, he's gonna find out. So basically, Hanna tells Aria, has her come over to the house after Ashley goes to work. They destroy the whole house searching for the drive and can't find it. Aria thinks that they should set A up and pretend that they have the drive, and even if they don't. And I like that they're kind of gonna trick the stalker here because, the stalker isn't a genius. We know that. The stalker is definitely not a genius. We don't really know who it is, and I like that they're trying to trick them. So Roland shows up at Emily's and wants to know why she is ignoring Allie's phone calls. And it's clear in this episode that Roland and Allie are not just colleagues. It's clear that these two, and well, not colleagues, but it's clear that they're not just patient and doctor. That's not what they are right now. There's a lot more going on with them. And it seems like Rollins is in a relationship with Allie. As we know, Rollins and Allie do end up together, and I could definitely see that after this. So Emily's flustered, tells him it's not a good time. While Rollins is getting ready to leave, he sees the paperwork from the fertility clinic, and it's clear that Allie got him to go over there because I think she suspects again that one of the girls is the one that killed Charlotte. I mean, she definitely has that fear. That's why she hasn't contacted them. She doesn't know what's going on with them, and they're not making it much better. They're really not. I mean, they're the ones that are being very shady and not really giving answers, which they can't really give her, but at the same time, she's the one that's suspecting that they are the killers, which of course they don't know right now, but it's still a problem, and they definitely need to do something about that because Allie's gonna know that they're the killers, and obviously they don't want her to know that. So Spencer heads to lunch with Gil and learns that she never had a lunch date with Gil, but Yvonne shows up and says that she had a lunch date saved in her phone calendar with Spencer, and Spencer tells Yvonne that she will be right inside. Then she calls Caleb, tells him that someone hacked her phone and set the date up for her, and she suspects that it is Mona that did this, and that she thinks that basically the stalker's trying to get to her and Yvonne together in the same place, and Caleb thinks that she should just bail, that she should leave. It's the best thing to do. I do like seeing Yvonne and Spencer genuinely trying to be friends. Like, it's clear that Yvonne, I think, wants to have a genuine friendship with Spencer. Now, I don't know if Yvonne knows that Spencer is against her. I don't really know. It's clear that Mona does, but Yvonne clearly doesn't, and I like seeing this friendship between them. It's gonna crumble, definitely. It's going to crumble, and it's gonna be sad, but I like that she's trying to develop a friendship, and it's clear that Spencer knows it's not gonna go anywhere because of where they are and who their mothers are and things like that, but I like that Spencer is at least trying to pursue something here. So Spencer decides to stick around and try to figure out what the A is actually up to, because there's clearly something going on. And they kind of chat about the campaign off over coffee, and when Yvonne leaves, she accidentally leaves behind her phone. Spencer looks around suspiciously, grabs the phone, and runs out of the restaurant. Now, why she left her phone obviously was an accident, but she is definitely starting to get suspicious, and I'm not going to suspect that Yvonne is part of anything, but I don't know, the way she's acting here, it just seemed a bit shady. Like, she would just forget her phone only for Spencer to look at it. It just, I don't know, something about that. I don't know if that was completely accidental. I feel like some of that might have been, I just don't know. It's like Sarah Harvey. She's very shady, you know? It's kind of like that. So Allie heads back to work at the high school. She's sitting in her classroom going over papers, and Sarah, speaking of Sarah Harvey, she stops by, and I love the scene between Allie and Sarah. I thought this was a great scene. These two haven't had any interaction so far this half of the season, and I think at all, actually. I don't really think Sarah and Allie have ever had a scene together. And well, they've had scenes here and there, but never something quite like this, and I really love this. Sarah says that she was supposed to talk to the class about living with a disability, and Sarah sits down and basically tells Allie that she wanted to, and basically she tells Sarah that she wanted to apologize for her loss and for lying on the witness stand when Charlotte went to court, and Allie doesn't want to hear it. She doesn't want to hear what's going on and everything and what happened there. You know, she doesn't care. So Sarah says that she was there for Charlotte when Allie's family turned her back on her, and Sarah goes on to say that she was like Charlotte's other sister, and she wants to be able to bond with Allie and share their memories. And Allie gets upset, storms out of her own classroom. She doesn't want to hear about Charlotte. I mean, clearly it's a trigger word. It really is. It makes her upset. It makes her erratic, and she doesn't want to hear the word Charlotte. She just doesn't want to hear about it, and I can understand why. I mean, this was her sister who she wanted to connect with. She didn't get a chance to, and obviously she's really upset about it. But the way that Sarah's kind of taunting her about it is definitely very interesting, and it's definitely something that I think Sarah would do. It kind of seems like Sarah's like, I was more of a sister to her than you were, so I should be the one that's upset, not you, and you don't really have a reason to be as upset. It's kind of interesting. I kind of look at it in a very interesting way, and I definitely like the way that Sarah is playing it, because it clearly is working. I mean, Allie is getting really upset, and we don't really know what Sarah's motive is here, if she really is truly upset, or if she is part of something bigger, but very interesting stuff, and Allie obviously is very upset. And I do want to, I do still think that Allie could be the person texting, because like I said, I don't think the person texting them has anything to do with the killer. I don't think it has to do with it. I think this person is someone that wants information, and who wants information more than anyone? Allie. So it would make sense that it's in Allie's character to do something like that. It would definitely make sense. I mean, the way that she talks, the way that she carries herself in the text, it definitely seems that way. And like I said, the stalker is not the killer. Keep in mind. And I know there's some people that might be confused about that, but it's not. And that's something like that they're doing. I've heard people say, oh, they're not changing it up. They are. There was no stalker in seasons 1 to 5. There wasn't. There was a killer, but there wasn't a stalker. And I like that it's a bit different here. So Hanna heads to Caleb's house, gets him to make a fake hard drive to give to A, and Spencer shows up while they are talking and tells Caleb that she stole Yvonne's phone, and Caleb says that it's a good thing. He takes the phone, says that he will use to try and track down the hacker that scheduled their lunch date together, because someone clearly scheduled it, and it wasn't for Yvonne. It's clear that there was no meeting with Gil. Someone set her up, and he doesn't know who did it. So Allie shows up at Emily's house, and I love this scene. I mean, Emily and Allie, I've always loved these two together. I've said it before. I think Allie would be really good for Emily. I mean, obviously there's a lot of animosity between these two, but when they have scenes together, they just have such good chemistry. I love their scenes together. I'm glad we saw them again, and I genuinely want these two to, at some point, pursue some sort of relationship. It doesn't seem like that's where we're going with Allie. It's clear that Allie is falling for Rollins and that's who she wants to be with, but I do think she still kind of has feelings for Emily. I mean, we remember in season 5, they had sort of a sexual relationship, not really a relationship, it was more of a sexual relationship, but or maybe he was even experimenting, but definitely something happened between them. I've always shipped Emily and Allie. I mean, if you were to ask me my number one couple, it would probably be Emily and Allie, honestly. I love these two. So she tells about her run-in with Sara. She's still very creeped out. I mean, how can you not be? Just the way that Sara talks and what she's doing, it makes sense. And Emily says that she can't stay. She has somewhere to be. Emily thinks that Rollins told Allie about her donating her eggs, but Allie had no idea. She thinks that she's just there because of that, but she offers to go with Emily while she gets her eggs harvested. And again, I really see this as Allie wanting to know what's going on. Like, this is kind of her way of just checking in with everyone. Like, what is Emily hiding? She knew that there was something she was hiding, and now she knows. And basically, when I like that Allie didn't know about Emily's eggs. I like that she didn't know about that. So when Caleb's done with the phone, Spencer rushes to take it back to the restaurant. She tells the hostess that she found Yvonne's phone outside. Mona walks up to them, interrupts, then says that she's been looking for the phone everywhere. And we found that she is working for Yvonne's family campaign, as we know. And Spencer's suspicious that Mona might be the one that hacked Yvonne's phone, but I like what Mona says to her. Mona kind of gives her a reality check, and I actually really like what Mona said. Now, does this make Mona less suspicious? No. Mona definitely I'm still on to. I mean, just Mona in general. I don't trust her. I don't. I mean, even though Mona saw Charlotte with them and everything, I'm never going to fully trust Mona. She always just, she's a very sketchy person, just like Sara. She's very sketchy. There are 3 people on the show you can never trust. Jenna, Sara, Jenna, I believe, is dead. I don't think Jenna's alive. Did she die? I don't remember what happened with her. If you guys can back me up on what happened with Jenna, I don't remember. I remember that Jenna was someone that was in the show, and then she kind of just disappeared. I don't know if she died. I can't remember. Just let me know, because I don't remember. But it's Jenna, Mona, and Sara. Those are 3 people that you can never trust, and Mona, I don't fully trust her word. But what she says to Spencer being like, I'm not in high school anymore, I wouldn't do this, I'm not power hungry, I don't want to be president as much as you think I want to be, doesn't really sound like Mona. It really doesn't. And I get that she's growing up, but this is Mona we're talking about. I don't fully trust Mona. I don't really trust what she's saying to Spencer, and I definitely feel she has an ulterior motive. I just don't know what it is. So Aria checks in the hotel in the room right next door to Sara's room. Sara hears arguing in the hallway. It's Sara and Hannah's mom, Ashley. And Ashley's upset because Sara won't let any of the maids in the hotel room to clean. And Ashley argues that it is a hotel policy that the rooms get cleaned at least once a week. And basically, that's very interesting. And again, Aria, I mean, is definitely on to Sara Harvey, you can tell, but that's obviously not about that. So Emily wakes up in the hospital bed, has a nightmare. She sees Sara hovering over her, injecting a needle into her IV. Emily panics, starts screaming, wakes up, and Allie tells her that it was all just a bad dream from the painkillers they gave her. She insists that no one has been in her hospital room, and again, I like these scenes between Emily and Allie. We see the doctor arrives, tells Emily that she has bad news. The couple that was buying her eggs has changed their mind, that they don't want a baby, and Allie thinks that they should have had her eggs frozen, and Emily decides to donate them to a fertility clinic. That means that she won't be getting paid. She doesn't care. She just wants to give them away. She doesn't care that she needs money. She doesn't really care about that. She just wants to do something good, and I like seeing Emily wanting to do something good. There's no benefit for her with this. You know, she's just doing this because she wants to. She wants to help these people, and I like seeing that. It's something that I think is really good for Emily to do, and I really have liked that. I mean, Emily has always been someone that's giving, but I feel like she wanted to do this to get herself money, and now I think she's realizing that no, I really do want to make a difference, and I want to help these families, and I like seeing that. So really great stuff there. I really love that scene. And I definitely feel that Allie and Emily, I really like where they're going with that. So at the hotel, Aria and Spencer, we finally get Team Sparia, which we were teased in the promo. They break into Sara Harvey's hotel room. They find a fake hand lying under the bed. And again, very creepy, a drawer full of more fake hands. And what's very strange is the fact that this is Sara Harvey's, room, and basically Spencer finds a map of the old Radley sanitarium, not the Radley, the hotel, when Radley was a mental hospital. It has Charlotte's old hospital room circled and labeled. She realizes that the hotel room that they're standing in is Charlotte's old hotel room, and obviously, that's terrifying. It's terrifying to think about. I could not believe that scene. Very creepy stuff, and who knows what's going on there. I mean, knowing that this is Charlotte's old hotel room, why haven't they changed it? I mean, why hasn't it been renovated anyway? What's going on there? They're definitely like, why haven't they made adjustments? They should have. I mean, obviously, this is the Radley, and they've tried to renovate and tried to keep it not to be a mental asylum. Why haven't they gone to that room and renovated it? It just doesn't really make sense to me. It's very strange, and definitely there's something that Sarah Harvey is hiding. I just don't know what it is, which I kind of like. I like that I don't really know what anyone's hiding right now. So then we get this really great scene with Hanna. I really love the scene just to show empowerment and showing how mature Hanna is. She shows up too late to a fashion show and has a fallout with her boss Claudia, and she fires Hanna. Now, not surprised she did. I mean, Hanna would not give in to her demands, and she was late and everything. And Jordan picks her up and tries to comfort her. Hanna whines that he can't marry someone who is unemployed, and I don't know if Hanna's saying, look, this marriage isn't going to work, but it's clear that Hanna, I think, is definitely having second thoughts. I mean, something I liked about this is that Hanna, when she's fired, she says, oh, I faced worse stuff before. It shows that this has kind of benefited her. I feel like, finding out what's going on here has made her stronger. It's made her realize she can take down more, and I like seeing that. Very good scene, and I don't really know where Hanna and Jordan are going, to be honest. I really don't know. I mean, I want to hope the best for these two, but the direction they're heading, I honestly don't really feel they're going in a good direction. I really feel they're starting to lose touch, especially because Spencer's not telling, Hanna hasn't told Jordan what's going on, and if she loved him, she would, and I don't really know if she does, so very interesting. Aria says that she's going to go look in the closet. A few minutes later, she doesn't return. Spencer, as the closet, finds a huge hole in the wall and a ladder leading down into a dark hole, and Spencer calls Aria's name down the hole, but there's no answer. Now, what this dark hole is, I have no idea, but clearly there are secrets in this dark hole. What's in it, again, I don't know. We'll have to see. But then the ending of this episode, we see A plugging the fake hard drive from the liars into their computer. But Caleb has installed a virus on the hard drive, completely wipes out A's hard drive, and that's how the episode ends. And Caleb, I definitely feel, has made things a lot more worse because this is not what Spencer told him to do. He said that he would find a way to do this, and yes, he's good with computers, but this is going to get very bad for him because now they're coming after him. I mean, definitely, and we don't know. The stalker, of course, doesn't know who did this, but this is definitely going to get very intense and definitely very interesting stuff there. So I don't really know what's going to happen there. What is this dark hole that Spencer and Aria found? I mean, clearly there's something that Sarah's hiding. We don't know what it is. Why haven't they cleaned up Charlotte's room? I don't know. Very strange, and there's something that she doesn't want anyone to know, and I find that very interesting. The warning that she gave to Allie, I don't really know what that indicates. It just makes me feel that Sara is just very untrustworthy, and I don't really know what's going to happen there. Same with Hanna and Jordan. I don't know how to feel about these two. I want to hope that things are going to work out well for them, but I just don't really know. We'll have to see what happens there. Emily and Allie, I could honestly see these two having a genuine friendship. I mean, Allie clearly really wants to help Emily, and I like seeing that. And Emily, I don't really know if she wants to be friends with Allie because she doesn't fully trust her, but I like that at least they're trying. Like, they're trying to be friends. I definitely like seeing that. Very good stuff there. Mona, like I said, Mona's explanation just doesn't sound like Mona. It's not something that Mona would say. So I'm gonna call bullshit on it. I really am. I'm gonna say that Mona definitely has an ulterior motive, and I just don't know what it is right now. I don't really know. Um, Allie's definitely onto the girls. I know that. I mean, even though she's trying to get close with Emily, I think she really is onto them. Like, this is her way of getting information. This is her way of figuring out where everyone is, because her sending out Rollins definitely makes me think that. I mean, her and Rollins are clearly together, and she definitely is trying to get information on them, so I could definitely see that happening. And then Aria, her parents came back together. I'm happy for them, but at the same time, is Byron completely innocent? No, I do feel there's more going on there. Again, I just don't know what it is. I keep saying that. It's just, it's true. I don't know what's going on there, and I want to, but I just don't. So, very interesting stuff going on there. Definitely very interesting. And then I guess the only other thing to talk about is what is going on with Toby. I mean, him and Yvonne, obviously Yvonne wants to have some sort of a friendship with Spencer, but it's very awkward right now. I really hope that Toby just tells Spencer that, hey, I'm still in love with you or whatever, and figures out what's going on there, because Spencer doesn't want drama. While Toby's creating it, she doesn't want it, and definitely very interesting stuff. So overall, guys, really great episode. Definitely another amazing episode. I really am loving this season overall. Let me know what you guys saw this episode. We'll see you guys next year, which will be for tonight's episode of Arrow, which obviously I am hyped on my mind for after last week's amazing episode, and we'll see you guys for that. Okay, bye.